So today we're going to work a little bit more on comprehension so that you guys can get better at that. And we're going to work on something called visualization. And by the end of the period, we're going to, the 20 minutes, we're going to read a story, and then I'm going to hopefully have you guys draw what you guys visualize on the board, okay? So we're going to start off. Do you guys know what comprehension is? Do you remember what comprehension means?
I've heard the word, but I don't remember the word.
That's great though, you've heard it. Okay, so comprehension is when you're reading and you understand what you read. You can tell me about what you just read. You guys just took those exams where you had to read that article and then you wrote about it. That's showing your comprehension, that you understand what you wrote about, okay? Activating prior knowledge. Do you remember anything? I know it's been like 3 or 4 weeks since we've done activating prior knowledge.
I still have been hearing that a lot, but I always keep forgetting things, so to be honest, I don't know what it is.
It's okay. It's all right. Okay. So activating prior knowledge is when you look at the book, look at the text, look at the title. Oh, the title, last time, remember we read about Snoop Dogg. I know Snoop Dogg. What do I know about Snoop Dogg? You go through and you look at the pictures. Oh, it's a picture of a cake. Oh, I love cake. So you just kind of go through, your science class. Oh, it's an enigma. I know what an enigma is. It's, so do you guys remember when you would use activating prior knowledge? Anytime you're reading a story, yeah. Or anytime you're reading anything. An article for school, an article for science or home, or even if you're reading an instruction manual on how to fix garage doors. Hey, I know what that is, and I know what that is, right? There you go. So, we're going to talk about visualization, okay? Have you guys ever heard of visualization?
Yes.
Yes. Do you know what it is?
I can maybe take a guess that
Yeah.
It's like what you're visualizing in the story, or like what you picture of something.
Yes, it's what you're, when you're reading, what do you see? What images come to your mind? What might the character look like? Does the setting, is it wintertime outside? Is it in a house? Well, I know what my house looks like. Or is it an apartment? I know what that looks like. Events. Oh, it's about a Christmas party. We have Christmas parties at my house. So that's maybe what it looks like. Okay, we're going to watch a quick video on visualization.
Is visualizing.
We're
We're going to have to use our imaginations today. In the books we read, the author gives us descriptions of people, places, things, events, smells, sounds, tastes, touches, and it's our job as the reader to use our imagination to make meaning of the descriptions, to make sense of them. Visualizing is using the words on the page and painting a picture with them in our minds. Often these are visual, but they can also contain connections to the other senses and even to emotions. We can practice visualizing by making a visual drawing. Let me read a passage from C.S. Lewis's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Have either of you heard of that?
This is a description of one of the characters, Mr. Tumnus.
Really
As I read, I will draw what I imagine Mr. Tumnus to look like from the descriptions in the book. I'm not a very skilled drawer, but it doesn't matter. I'm focusing on the skills of visualizing what I'm reading, not my
So it
drawing.
doesn't matter what it looks like as long as you're.
Soon after that,
drawing.
a very strange
As long as you
person
visualize.
stepped out from among the trees into the light of the lamppost. He was only a little taller than Lucy himself, and he carried over his head an umbrella, white with snow. From the waist upwards he was like a man, but his legs were shaped like a goat's. The hair on them was glossy black, and instead of feet he had goat's hooves. He also had a tail, but Lucy did not notice this at first because it was neatly caught up over the arm that he held the umbrella, so as to keep it from trailing in the snow. He had a red woolen muffler around his neck, and his skin was rather reddish too. He had a strange but pleasant little face with a short pointed beard and curly hair, and out of the hair stuck 2 horns, one on each side of his forehead. One of his hands, as I have said, held an umbrella. In the other arm, he carried several brown paper parcels. What with the parcels of the snow looked just as if he had been doing his Christmas shopping. He was a faun. And there we had it.
So as he was reading, is that kind of what you guys imagined? Okay.
Just turned words on a page into a picture. I've used my imagination to picture what Mr. Tongues looks like. The image in my mind is far more detailed than I've been able to put on a page, but that doesn't matter. I've practiced imagining what the book is telling me.
And this is an actual drawing from
To
somebody
conclude,
else.
visualizing is making a mental picture of what we are reading.
That's what it kind of looked like.
If
in
we're
the
able to
video.
make detailed pictures in our minds, we will be better able to understand what we are reading. If we practice visualizing, we will improve our reading comprehension.
Okay, he kind of touched on this real quick in the video at the beginning of it. Do you remember what he said you could write about? Or you could visualize?
All like those senses.
Yeah, you could visualize the smells, you can visualize the sounds. You know, if they're talking about a busy street, you know, if you live on a busy street, or if you've ever been, you know, to Chicago or New York, and you can hear the horns honking, or cars honking. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do some journaling, okay? And this is to help you guys remember what we were talking about. So if you can just open up to a blank page, okay? So, I'm not worried about spelling, punctuation. I just wanna know that you can take what you've learned and write it down, okay? Some of the things you can write about. What is visualization? How would I use it? How would I use it? When would I use it? And why would I use visualization, okay? So just take 2 or 3 minutes.
Do I copy all the time, or should I?
No, you just write your answers, write whatever you wanna write. If you have something else you'd wanna write, you know, visualizing seems pretty easy. I've done it before. I'm gonna give you about another minute, just because I want to make sure we have time to do everything. So just whatever your thoughts are. Visualizing. I'm going to collect these books, the journals, but if you don't mind writing either your name up on with this one, you can write your name up inside or on the cover, whatever you prefer. And then at the end of all the lessons, you'll get to take this with you. Okay, so just wherever you wanna write your name is fine. Anywhere, sure, anywhere.
My handwriting is the best part.
Hmm?
My handwriting would be
long as you can read, yeah, so you're gonna, at the end of the, you heard that then,
Yeah, like write your name on it.
wherever you want. And I'm gonna collect them at the end. And then at the end of the fifth lesson, you'll get it back.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna use, we're gonna read this story here. We're gonna read Dolphins on Duty. Okay, the US Navy trains these super smart animals to work on life-saving missions. We are gonna go ahead and we're gonna take turns reading. I'll start. And then Nick, if you don't mind going next. And then, you don't wanna read?
No, I don't care.
Oh, okay, and then Alec, okay? If there's a word you don't understand, just let me know, so we can read it from there, okay, or go from there. In April, a fishing boat was bobbing along the Arctic Ocean. As it sailed near the coast of Norway, a country in Europe, a fisherman on a boat spotted a beluga whale. The whale was wearing clips that hold a camera. Why would a whale need a camera? Could the animal be a spy?
The answer just might be yes. The whale also had clips on its harness with the words St. Pittsburgh.
That's St.
St.
Petersburg,
St.
Petersburg, that's it, yeah.
That's the name of a city in Russia. Officials say this means the whale was likely trained by the Russian military as a spy.
This may seem a bit fishy, but whales, dolphins, and other marine mammals are used to help militaries around the world. That includes the United States military. The U.S. Navy Marine Mammal Program certainly has more than 100 sea animals protecting our country from underwater threats.
Did either of you know this ever before?
One,
That there are sea animals that protect the US?
I did not know that, to be honest.
I didn't either, it's kinda crazy, huh?
Just learned something now.
Okay, the best of the best. The Navy program started in 1959. In the early years, the Navy tested out more than a dozen animals, including sharks, sea turtles, and birds. Today, just 2 species are used, bottlenose dolphins and California sea lions.
The Navy's dolphins and sea lions perform missions that the Navy cannot yet accomplish in any other way, says Mark
Sitko.
Sicker. He's the director of the program. Both animals are very smart and easy to train, and both can quickly adapt to different environments like shallow waters or deep seas.
But there are more dolphins in the program because they use echolocation. That means that use sound to see underwater.
Right, so here we kind of have it, they've got these sonars that they send out, and it bounces off the other fish or other things that they're looking for and comes back to them. So that's echolocation, okay? Come on. On the job. Dolphins begin training at Naval Base Point Loma in San Diego, California, when they're a few years old. Handlers show them how to look for and mark the locations of underwater explosives called mines. Mines can hurt or kill people on military ships, and they can be difficult for humans to detect. You guys know what detect means?
Like
To find, right, good.
But it's no problem for dolphins. Using echolocation, the animals can easily see throughout dark, muddy waters. Plus, they can dive hundreds of feet below the surface, much further than humans can. Trainers also teach dolphins to identify enemy swimmers.
the animal are natural hunters, says Zico. We just change what they've learned to hunt for.
Right, so normally they might hunt for other fish, or other kinds of predators, and now they're looking for, like they said, enemy swimmers, okay? Next page. There we go. Reporting for duty. In the past 40 years, Navy-trained animals have traveled to the coast for more than coasts of more than a dozen countries on official missions. When they aren't on a mission, the Dolphins help with security at the naval bases around the world and prepare for future jobs. They will be ready if they are needed, says Sitco's. Navy, Dolphins, and sea lions are always on duty. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this off. And you guys get to kind of do something called a graffiti wall. And you're going to think about what we just read. And you're gonna draw on the board what you think this was about, what stuck out, what kind of, stood out to you, or what you could visualize, okay? Like the guy said in the video, your drawing doesn't have to be perfect. It's just getting your mind to practice visualizing what you just read, okay? So, I've got the markers here. And we've got probably about 4 minutes, if that, to draw. So go ahead, just have fun drawing what you read, okay? You're like, no. Hey, that's good. I didn't think to give, last time I draw a dolphin, and I didn't think to give it a nose, so. Okay. Come on, you're doing your echolocation. Good, you drew yours with a mind, person training them, good job. Let's check the sound out, let's go. There you go.
Like, it's out.
You're doing fine, you're fine.
Oh my god.
There you go. Alright. Nick, are you good with your drawing?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
Are you happy to? Alright, good job, guys. I can see what you guys just read about. We're good.
Because
Thank
it's
you.
so
All right.
it wants an echo. Like
It wants to echo, right. So,
that's
when can you guys use this kind of visualization again?
anytime that you're reading or whatever.
Anytime you're reading, that's right, just like before. So, I hope this helps you guys with your comprehension, your understanding of reading, and thank you for helping me.
Oh, you're welcome.